Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Lighting Up Your Life with Lisa podcast, where we will discuss the human mind, body, and soul, and how to elevate ourselves to the next level of healing, wellness, and holistic health, wealth, and happiness. I am your host, Lisa Tabando, RMT and Bioenergetics Certified Facilitator. Y'all ready? Let's go. Hi, everybody. It's me, Lisa T, coming at you with some positive energy. Okay, on Light Up Your Life podcast, episode 2. So, as usual, I'm going to be answering questions that have come to me through my clients and people that I interact with on a regular basis. So, some great questions came up today, and I wanted to share them with you all because if one person has this question, then someone else has this question too. So, the questions that came to me today was, why does this side hurt now? So clients come to me, most of the time with one area that's hurting. I say that, it's my right low back or my right shoulder or the right side of my neck. And I like to educate my clients to having a focused treatment. A lot of clients also, for the first time when they come to me, they'll say, well, a full body, but focus on this area. And focus. Just what does that word mean? Focus on this area. That means, so if there's a red light here and a green light here and I ask you to focus on the green light, you're going to stay on the green light. So we say these things in our life. We say, full body massage, but focus here, and we don't even know what we're saying. If you're going for a 1 hour massage, even a 90-minute massage, if a massage therapist is doing a full body but focus here, they have to time it. They have to time it in some way. So they have to go 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 10 minutes here. 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, and time it. So if you have a sore shoulder and you're going for a 1 hour massage, please do what your words, or please ask the massage therapist to do what your words are speaking to, which is focus on that area. Focus on that area. It's 1 hour. Your shoulder did not get sore in 1 hour, so it's not going to be completely healed in 1 hour as well. It needs that time. And if you have a good massage therapist, focusing on that area doesn't mean you're only going to treat, the upper traps. There's other muscles the muscles all work together. So you're good. The body will probably lead the massage therapist down the arm, down the middle of the back, up to the neck, a little bit on the other side to see the symmetry of the body and to see what else is contributing. One side of our body is a dominant side, so one side does a lot of our movements and the other side stabilizes while this side is doing the movements. So this side of the back will stabilize while this side is scrubbing the bathtub. So this side's sure getting worked, but these structural supportive muscles are also going through a workout in holding for that side that's doing the movement. So back to the question. So if someone comes to me with a sore right shoulder and we do a focused treatment, so meaning we're going to treat just that right side of the back, neck, and shoulders, then once that's relieved, a client will come to me they get up from the table and they say, oh, wow, yeah, that feels much better. And then I see them the next time and they say, well, great, now this side hurts. So this side doesn't all of a sudden hurt. Our brain is a very, very smart machine. It is not like humans. In life, I know I did it myself, and I know other people do it, and they say, I'm a multitasker. I can do this and this and this and this and this. I can do like multiple things at once. That's a falsity. If we are doing two things, we have 100%, right, of something, 100% of something. So if we're doing two things, one thing is getting 70% of our attention and the other thing is getting 30%. Or one thing is getting 50% and the other thing is getting 50%. Or one thing is getting 20% and the other thing is getting 80%, right? So we say we're multitaskers, but it's a falsity. We're not actually, because we're not doing one thing 100%. So the brain's smarter than us, though. It prioritizes things. So we have there's the pain gate in the spinal cord. So if a muscle is tight over here, so if this is your spinal cord right here, and this is your lower, this is your glutes, and here's your spinal cord up here. So if this glute is overworked and traumatized and had enough and exhausted and it's done. It's been sitting you, it's been walking you, it's been lifting you, it's been holding you, it's been doing all these things and you haven't taken care of it. It's going to get to a point where enough is enough, and it's going to say, pay attention to me with pain. And it's going to send pain to the spinal cord so that your brain receives it and that you feel the pain. Now, it's been telling you all along, but we have lost the ability, or we've forgotten our ability to tap in and tune into our body. So it's been sending us little nudges, and then we've ignored it. Where it's like we get home from work like, oh, I feel tight there, but I'm too tired. I'm going to lay on the couch instead of stretching, instead of icing it, instead of taking care of it. So we've ignored these little nudge. It's trying, and then you're ignoring the nudge, and then it starts knocking. It's like, hey, and we start to maybe, every other day wake up with a stiff hip, and we still don't take care of it. That's when it's, hey, and then all of a sudden it says, enough, she's not listening, or he's not listening. I've got to spasm and cause her some immense pain, so she stops doing this. So she stops doing these things that are causing me this, and she takes care of me, or he takes care of me. So we've treated the right side shoulder. That was the primary thing. Because that area has been, the spinal cord has said, yes, that's the priority. I'm going to prioritize that. I'm going to let this shoulder or this hip come up, and I'm going to let the information of that pain come up the spinal cord and come to the brain so the person can pay attention. When we relieve that, the other parts have been trying. So there's a gate here at the base of the spinal cord, and that one side is being allowed in. It's being allowed in. But these other things, the other shoulder and the low back and the calves, they're trying to get in, but the brain's saying, no, not now. I'm dealing with this one right now. It's prioritizing. It's smart. So we relieve that side, and then the person will come to me and say, now the left side hurts. And I like to educate them and say, the left side doesn't now hurt. It was always tight. It was tight before we were treating this one, but this one is now relieved. So the brain's like, okay, that guy's done. Let's deal with him. So that's why it's always good too, as a massage therapist, you do treat both sides. But I do want to focus on the area that's really bothering someone, because we want to get rid of that and then move on to the next, and piece by piece. So then eventually we can get to a full body maintenance massage. You want to be going for your massages even when you're not in pain, because of this pain gate system inside the body. So because when you lay on the table, again, your brain is prioritizing. So if you've got a million things going on in your life, you got the kids and the shopping to do and that appointment to make and that book to write and that assignment to do and that other thing, we've got a whole bunch of things we've got on our minds, and so we stop paying it. So we're not paying attention to all these little things that are going on in our body. If we're good with our self-care and we stretch every night, then we're doing a much better job. But we still have to go for our monthly massages, because when you lay on the table and then a massage therapist brings attention, because your attention is all in all these other places, when all of a sudden the massage therapist brings attention, you're like, oh, I didn't know that was in there. Oh, I didn't realize that was so sore. I hear that all the time. So we go for our maintenance massages, because we're going to address those, the little things, before they become big things, before they're causing you that you can't stand up or can't get out of bed or can't turn your head or whatever. We want to address it when it's little. Just like I just got my brakes done on my car recently, and I got it because it was just making this little tiny squeak every once in a while. It was on and off, but I thought, no, let's do this now. Let's fix it now before it becomes a bigger problem. And I spoke to a mechanic, and they said that, yeah, if you let that go, it's going to then start wearing down this other thing, and then that'll start wearing down this thing. So we nip these things in the bud before they become bigger problems. Again, the car analogy is so good. It's so likened to the body. So that's why the other side all of a sudden hurts. It doesn't all of a sudden hurt. It's just now you have access to it. The other thing has been taken care of, so now we can prioritize. The body can now prioritize something new. Okay, so yes, so that's the central, and what I'm talking about there is our central nervous system. So we have our central nervous system, which is the main, and then we have our sensory nervous system, which we can, is our feeling system, and then we have our autonomic nervous system, which is our digestion, our heart, our, the other things that are going on, our inflammatory system. They're autonomic, meaning that you don't say, okay, digest, oh, digest a little more. No, digest. You're not digesting. You're not in control of that. It's just happening, which is a really cool thing with the body. This leads me into the next thing that this client asked me was, how do I become more aware so that I can listen to these subtle things, these subtle informations that the body is giving me, these subtle little knocks. How can I do that? And I said, you're doing it right now, going for your massages, doing stretches. The conscious, most of our consciousness is above the neck, so conscious, and then the subconscious is in the body. Hence there's a book out there called The Body Keeps Score. So the body is storing subconscious stuff, so we're not conscious of it until we are. We can bring it into our consciousness. So how do we become more aware? We're doing our stretches, we're going for our massages, and then we get to start to pay more attention to the things that were subconscious and bring them into consciousness. So the things below the neck. My beliefs on this, my theory on this is that no wonder that this is the conscious area and this is the subconscious area. Our senses, they say we have 5 senses. We have so many more senses than 5 senses, but the 5 main, the ones that bring the information from the main information from the external reality, our sight, our hearing, it's all up here. Sight, hearing, taste, smell, and then touch is here. Well, everywhere else, right? Touch is everywhere. So now we have more than that. We have our sense of humor. We have our sense of danger. We can sense. There's so many other senses than those 5 senses. Someone said at work the other day, like, "Oh, my 6th sense," and I said, "Yeah, your 6th sense of humor. You're like the 6th sense." I have a 6th sense of humor at times. So we have lots of other senses, but yes. So listening to the body. How do you become more attuned to your body and start being able to listen to the subtleties? Well, we start to go into the subconscious. And for an example, one of those things is you start to pay attention when you're taking really good care of your body, and then you're out in traffic and you're driving and some guy cut you off and some other guy flipped you the bird, and you saw someone else driving beside you, and you could tell they were screaming at you. And what happens? We're like, oh God. And we bring our shoulders up to our ears, or we tighten our hips, or we tighten our neck, So when you're taking care of your body a lot on a regular basis, not a lot, but on a good frequency and a regular basis, you start to become aware that, oh gosh, when he said that, I lifted my shoulder. I don't need to do that. It's okay, shoulder. It's okay, body. We're okay. We're safe. The body its first mechanism is survival. So if we're in stress, and stress induces, I've got to survive. So if you're under stress, your body says, oh my God, I've got to survive. Fight or flight, right? Stress is fight or flight, meaning we are running from a bear. We are fighting for our lives. So the body doesn't know what's actually, the actual movie that's playing in front of it. What it knows is that sense. Oh God, danger. So we have to let ourselves know, to have a good internal dialogue and a good awareness of our body, so that we can pay attention and go, oh look, my body just thought that there was a major danger. It was just someone flipping me the finger. So I can relax my shoulders and I can tell myself I'm safe. I have food. I have shelter. I'm driving a car right now. If something does come up, I'll take care of it. I'm resourceful. I have support. And you can calm your body down and bring yourself back into rest and digest. The opposite of fight or flight is rest and digest. So rest and digest, that's actually like rest of the muscles of the nervous system. So we want to have a healthy nervous system. We want to have a clean nervous system. We want to have a nervous system that isn't overreacting and responding to things that are invisible, these fears that we have, traumas, triggers, etc. So we want to pay attention so that we can show up for ourselves, reparent ourselves. Remember, I talked in the last video about how these muscles are like children in our bodies. We have to take care of them like they're our child. We were gifted this. We came through this portal of our mother's womb. We came from this realm, and came into this physical reality through this portal of our mother's womb and into this body. And immediately the body started, it was in the womb creating your lungs, creating your digestive system, creating your arm, your ear, creating all these things. You didn't have a part in it. You weren't saying, okay, now time to make my ear, now time to make my thumb, right? It just did it. So this is a thing. it's not you. It's something that you were gifted, this body. You were gifted this body as a vehicle to take you through this experience of life. So we have to take care of it, and we have to not take it for granted. These muscles, they're working for you. They're doing things for you. You have to have a relationship with this body that's a good relationship, a healthy relationship of give and receive, equally, and to be listening and hearing what your partner says, what your partner in this relationship, what is it saying to you? What does it need? Does it feel safe? Does it feel heard? So that's how we start to become more aware of these little subtle taps of when we're having issues we're not issues, but where we're having an area of the body that's wanting some extra care, that's needing some love, because we've required from it. We required all of our postural muscles to sit for us at our desk all day. We are requiring, as you're sitting there typing. You're requiring your fingers, you're asking these things to do things for you. And you're not saying finger, push button. It's just doing it, like such magic, right? So appreciate that. Don't take it for granted, and take care of it. Give back to your body. So that's how you become aware of little nuances that are going on. And then you start to know too, every time, or, in this, under the umbrella of aggravation, frustration, annoyance, every time I get this thing in my shoulders, those things cause something in my shoulders. So if I've had an aggravating, frustrating day, I know, tonight I better take care of my shoulders, because that's an area where that energy gets stored. The energy of that gets stored. Our hips, so we have our root chakra and then our sacral chakra, and the sacral chakra is it's 2 inches below the belly button. And so in that area is also where we have our emotions, our desires, our pleasures. It's all the yummy, gooey stuff of life. And so if we're having a very, very emotional time, if we're going through a lot of grief, if we're dealing with a lot of anger, frustration, these things as well, it can also be getting stored in the hips, which, that's one place I treat a lot right out of the gates with my clients. When they're having neck issues, let's start at the hips. If they're having calf issues, let's start at the hips, because it's like a intersection between the bottom of the body and the top of the body. So it's a coarse piece, a rooted piece. There's if you can imagine a tree sitting on a horizon on a crystal clear water. So here's the tree, here's the water down here, and the tree, you're going to have this beautiful reflection of the tree, and that's kind of what the hips is, the water line, and then we have a tree below and a tree above. So so these are things you can be aware of, and then start to pay attention to. And you're not going to do it perfect the first time. The first step is awareness, just to start to get aware of it, and then it's a practice taking care of our body, and it's a full-time job. So I even myself, I fall off on my stretches, I fall off on getting my monthly massages, I fall off the track, but we get back on. And the good news is, once you've had a background of it, once you've been doing that, even if it's on and off for years, your body will remember, okay, Lisa will come back online. So it doesn't feel the need to scream at you like a screaming child. That the babies, they scream, right? They need something, they scream. That's another thing the client said. She's like, why does it have to be pain that the body talks to me with? And I said, it's got no other way. It's like a baby. The baby screams and it's hungry. It screams, it cries, and it needs its diaper changed. Well, there's different pains too. So you start to become aware, and a mother knows. She's like, oh, that's the cry of hunger. That's the cry of a poopy diaper. The mother starts to become aware because she's paying attention. She doesn't know that right out of the gate. She learns it as she goes along, and we can do that with our bodies too. Okay, the last question I'm going to answer on this episode is, how do I stop letting this pain, tension get into me? Okay, so I just spoke to that a little bit too. These questions are all they're synchronistic. They all kind of tie into the same thing, same concept. So how do I not let that tension get up into my body? Well, it's the same thing like I just spoke to. Yes, Gordy, I'll be right with you. He's in need right now. He's barking. And I know that bark. You know what it means? My toy is stuck underneath the chair. That's that bark. There's a different bark for when he needs to go outside. So, okay, back to our bodies. So, how do I stop letting this pain, tension get into me? Well, you start being aware. And when you're like, oh, that guy, these coworkers that I work with, there's these certain coworkers, and every time I walk by them, I can feel my shoulders get up. Cut the cord to that. Recognize that you're the one They might be frustrating you, but you're the one that's letting it affect you and get into you. So honor your body to a point where you're like, I will not let that change how this is responding. And your system, remember too, it's this fascinating thing of chemicals. Like, you start to feel sad, your body goes blah, 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 and it creates a whole bunch of new chemicals. You start to feel stressed, blah, 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 your body's like, okay, cortisol and this and adrenaline, and you start to feel fear, adrenaline, pump her with adrenaline. Like, the body is constantly creating this new chemical composition inside of you, and that will affect your muscles and how you're digesting your food and how you're sleeping at night. So we want to be conscious of our chemical composition, and we are changing that with our first a thought and then a feeling. We can't have a feeling unless we have a thought. A thought always precipitates a feeling. So watch what we're saying to ourselves, watch what we're thinking, and watch how we're reacting mentally and then emotionally to the things that are coming at us in our life. And then you can go to one of my other videos down the line. There is a breathwork thing, clear this central channel. That kind of coincides with that the spinal cord that I was speaking to at the beginning of this video. So we want to keep that clear, keep that beautiful, keep it flowing. As soon as we let something get in there, then we create a wobble in this beautiful flowing toric field that we have of energy going in and out of us at all times. So there you go. Episode 2 of Lighting Up Your Life with Lisa. Thank you so much for watching. Please, I see that lots of people are watching these videos and not everybody is subscribing or giving me a thumbs up. It really matters. It helps my algorithm and how it all goes, and it helps me help more people. So it costs you nothing. There's nothing that you have to sign up for or anything. You just hit that subscribe button underneath this video, and all that's going to happen is you're going to get a notification the next time I post a video. It's simple. It's nothing. It's, no skin off your back, as they say. Back. Talking about backs. So that's it. So thanks for watching. Yes, please hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and thank you so much for allowing me on your journey of health, wealth, and happiness to living your best life of holistic health and wellness. I love you all. Thanks for watching.